So, this is Secret Map 1. You're not a Tengu, not a Kappa, not a Phantom either. A human. So, it is rare for a human to make it this far up the mountain. We swim in the sky to warn of a certain disaster. Your wondering is a sign of the disaster to come. You aren't the only thing here that's not supposed to be. I'm merely warning people of the true incident. Above this is the heavens, one of the few realms that will be safe. I wouldn't be so sure of... So, long story short, welcome to Secret Boss Iku. She mentions that she wants to test you first if you want access into Heavens. The map is literally just the arena and just a single boss fight, so there's not much to talk about, aside from the fact that I did spend a fair amount of work trying to make that mountain silhouette in the distance look relatively imposing. Okay, first spell card. This thing follows you. The trick to that is just always keep moving. Standing still will get you lightning struck, and that kills you. Avoid getting struck with lightning, that hurts. Iku, I really like how she turned out. She is just visually really impressive, and there's just so much going on. However, the fight's not that hard, and the fact you get a Megasphere means that you can work with what you've gotten. And yeah... And yeah, Iku, as I said, is not intending to let you go off easy. She is testing you on your abilities. Not that Iku's that hard. I can do her pretty consistently. I do find her easier than Sanae. Oh. Though again, you want to get the curvature, and that's be pretty great. This card. The trick to this is get a lot of distance, because yeah, that's what happens if you don't. You don't want to be too close to her when she casts this. And she drops Thunder from the Sea of Eternal Clouds, the very spell card she just used. And it does basically the same thing when the player uses it. It's pretty crazy. You go. So. And yes, that brings us... And I've decided that I have to record both secret maps because, yes, you're immediately taken into map 32. Daughter of Heaven, Heart of Human. Being of Earth, control the keystones. And lay hearts of people. So... Yeah, and you must be the human everyone's been talking about. See, Tenshi has been waiting for you. And, she's bored and wants to fight you. Literally, that's why she fights you. She's just bored. As a result, I'm really bored all the time. Actual dialogue from... Fun fact, that's I think she canonically literally says that, at least at some point. Or, well, the Japanese equivalent of that. And, as a result... Yeah, there's an incident in the mortal realm, and she knows all about it already. There's no need to warn her, but... I do want something from you. So, yeah, there's not much to talk about the developer process aside from the fact that getting these mountains to poke above the clouds took a while. Getting that visual effect was not the easiest thing. And Tenshi is... Oh yeah, right, I probably should have mentioned. Both Iku and Tenshi are from Touhou 10.5. Yes, for those who don't know Touhou, there are 0.5s in this series. I promise you it makes perfect sense. And all 4 of her spell cards are thus taken from that game. So, otherwise, yeah, welcome to heaven. This is what heaven looks like, apparently. But yeah, I've spent a lot of effort trying to get that mountains poking through the clouds effect. But otherwise, there's not too much effort. This kind of border area was added later to make it so it was easier to tell where the actual border of the arena, because during testing it was way too easy to accidentally fall off. Which is funny, but it's also not a fun way to die. Ow! Took that laser to the face. Otherwise, try not to take a laser to the face like I just did, but otherwise there's not too much to talk about with this fight. Oh, 110, 110, not great. I can work with this. Want to use your mini-map to make sure there's no bubbles spawning directly on top of you. And then run away when Tenshi gets too close. Because if Tenshi gets too close to you, that's not good. Otherwise... Wait. There's one more spell card left. So... This is Scarlet Weather Rhapsody of All Humankind. The actual final card, and if you know Touhou, you knew this card was coming. It kind of inevitable. It's a multi-phase card, and the way it works is that as her health lowers, she adds more attacks. At 3/4 health, she adds the laser attack, and at half health, she adds the laser, the big laser, if she decides to use it. You can tell she's going to use it because there's a sound cue. You must know the sound cue. It might be somewhat hard to hear in the recording, but I can hear it just fine. And once you get to her last quarter, she just spams the laser and just circle strafe. By the way, you might be curious, can't you cheese this by timing it out, thus never getting to the laser phase? Never try timing out a multi-phase card. It always has a hidden feature to prevent that particular strategy. I might actually demonstrate it at some point, depending on how confident I feel. And yes, the boundary yokai then now shows up and says, hey! And yep. That is... Oh yeah, those skyboxes are courtesy of Stronghold. They make that look a lot better. And that's map 32. Next up will be a return to map 18, which is where I'd be going anyway, if I hadn't done the secret maps. So, the boundary yokai mentions that the next stop is familiar, but new company keeps things lively. You'll see what she means by new company next video.